But I hate people complaining about cancel culture. I hate comics complaining in general. It's the second comedy boom. It's not going anywhere. People are making more money than ever before. And Dave Chappelle, who's won every award in the world, is complaining that cancel culture is making his job harder. It's like, your job shouldn't be easy. Right. If you're gonna make that much fucking money, like, hey, maybe it should be a little hard. You know, I got no issue with that.
It's breaking bread. A toast, my friend.
Cheers.
Congratulations on the special.
Thank you.
It's so good, Anthony.
Thank you.
It's so good.
It's stressful for me. Yeah, I'm one of those guys, I can watch it like twice, 3 times in the edit, and then I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember the shows. I was on the road for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun during each one of those shows. In between was hell. But being on stage was so great that I just hope that the special captures that, you know, and you don't really know until it hits.
I know.
And then you hear the feedback. You're like, oh, okay, good. People like this.
Yeah, you start to get an idea. I always say, like, I never read the comments unless I start to catch wind that people really like it, and then I'll eat them up.
I find that all comments, negative and positive, are the same.
Yeah.
Like, you get the positive ones, you're like, okay, this is boring now. And the negative ones are all the same. Or you can tell what they're mad about and where it's coming from. That you're like, okay, I get that that you're mad about this.
Yeah. I just kind of, with this one, was like, I did it. I stood up there, I toured it, I did it, I shot it, it's there. I'm not going to nitpick about any of it. And I'm like, they want to pick clips, they want to do that. And I was just like, I'm going to go with God and just let it go. And it was because you start to realize worrying about all the minutia it's not really worth it.
See, I'm very much different in that I want to know what clips, because I don't trust them. Like, they'll do the trailer where it's like, the other day I was, and then I went over to, and like, they cut it up so much where you're like, just give me one joke.
I know.
Just put one joke in there, and then I'll be like, give me this other joke, and they'll give me the wrong one. They think they got the right one because of the name I gave, and it's like, no, I need it to be like this.
Yeah.
I trust them as little as possible. And my last special was 2019. And I remember going into Netflix and them going through everything. Like, here are the pictures you can choose from. Here are the clips. Here are everything.
Yeah.
Huge presentation. Like, amazing work. And I'm like, oh my God, that one right there, number 13 out of 30 is the one I want.
Yeah.
And this time it was way different, where I'm like, what happened? Do they not care about me anymore? And it was like, no.
They don't do that
All
anymore.
those people got fired.
Yeah.
Everyone from 2019 is gone. It's a new crew, and they do it differently. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You can kind of let that go a little bit.
Yeah, not the big presentation thing anymore. Yeah. And, oh, man. But, I mean, it's all great work. I can't tell you how, I mean, I see a lot. I'm my Netflix radio show. I see a lot of stuff come through, and this is really, 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 really good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
I'm very proud of it. And we talked before about, we ran into it at the Comedy Store post-pandemic, where they're trying to save the store from the loss of Joe Rogan. It's like, who are the big names who can come in and keep people coming here? And we talked about you were like, are you getting ready for a special? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I just want to be a comedian. I want to write new jokes, try them out, and enjoy myself at night, not worry about the hour.
And I remember that because I loved hearing that, because I'm so hung up on people saying the hour, I'm working on my hour. It's just, shut up. But how about just work on your act? How about your act, and who knows what it's going to be? But you at that point weren't even going on the road.
No.
You were like, I'm just sticking in town, and I'm going to do my thing. And last night I watched the special, and I was like, so how long did he tour for? Like 6 months and then put the special up? But it actually had been
2 years. Well, I had, shortly after we had our conversation, they had the first Netflix is a Joke festival.
The first one.
It was in May of 2 years ago.
Yeah, 22, Joe. 22.
And I said on stage, I have like half an hour, so it's like Jeselnik and Friends. I've got a bunch of people doing some time. And I do 30 minutes, and then I told a story, tried some new things out, like longer form stuff.
Yeah,
that did well there, and then never did well again. One of those where you're like, oh my God, I've got a whole new story. And people are like, what do you, this is 10 minutes. What are you doing? But on stage, I'd said, in October of this year will be 20 years that I've been doing stand-up comedy.
Right.
And the crowd cheers, and my agent was in the audience. And he texts me, I get off stage and I see a text like, 20-year tour. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to pick 6 clubs and just do like I'm marking 20 years.
Yeah.
And so went out with half an hour material, did a couple old jokes, took some questions, and at the end of that 6 weeks of clubs, I was like, you know what? I've like the questions that were being asked then became part of the act. People kept asking like, what was it like to work with Norm? You know,
Right.
what was like, what's your favorite joke? You know, what was your favorite roast joke? And I was like, okay, I've got this now.
Yeah.
Now let's book a real tour. I did another 6 months of clubs and then a year of theaters and then went international. So it was 2 years total.
Right.
But it was amazing to see the jump from the last tour. You know, places where I would do, you know, 1 show in a smaller theater. Now I'm doing 2 shows in a bigger theater, 4 shows in a bigger theater, where I think that the last Netflix special, and especially the clips,
Yeah.
you know, Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
that changed things when my audience jumped up. Where I
Yeah.
was getting to do much bigger venues, and that really meant the world to me.
That's
You know,
amazing.
to go out and see that the last one actually was successful, and people want to see what you're doing next, I think was a big
How funny that
big
it
help
took
to me.
years for you to even know that was going on.
That's, you have to find out. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
you see comments or whatever, but until you go and sell tickets again,
Yeah.
you don't know.
No.
And I'm not a guy who's like, specials out Tuesday,
Yeah.
tour starts Friday.
Right.
It's like, specials out Tuesday, hope you like it. I'll see you in 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm lucky.
It's a great, it really is, it's such a refreshing way to go about it. And it proves that patience can pay off. Because I think a lot of people are on this track of get the next one out as quickly as possible. Don't let the momentum stop.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put out something good, you can be patient. It actually isn't that you put out something good, just that you put out something great because you let it marinate and really get the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. That the last one was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually it's been like 3 or 4 years, but the pandemic took me out for a year,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I took a little extra time with the tour.
Right.
And as I'm getting older, you know, touring gets a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I thought being sober would be easier. It was in some ways more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, some
How
shows
is it more difficult?
getting to sleep. You know, like
Yeah.
getting like you're after the show, you're all jacked up, and I used to like, you know, drink a 6-pack of beer, eat a pizza, go to bed. You're a little hungover in the morning, but you're okay.
Yeah.
And then before that next show, have a couple beers. You know, you're in like Iowa City somewhere, and you're like, this show isn't as big to me as Carnegie Hall.
Right.
Let's have a couple beers, and I'll be a little more smiley. And I just didn't have that. And I
Oh.
lost like 30 pounds on this tour.
Yeah, you look thinner.
Yeah, I'm putting it back on as I
Yeah.
go, but I had to like on the road go buy a new pair of jeans,
Right.
Because I went down a waist size, and it was just
All beer?
it was not just beer. It was that I wasn't eating late at night. You know, you get off
Right.
stage,
Yeah,
and if
that's
you
a
have
big
2
deal.
shows, pizza's your only option. You know,
At midnight.
yeah, and
I know.
so I wasn't doing that.
My
And it
openers
just- it
hate
just
me
went.
because I won't eat late. And they're so hungry.
But that can't be the only reason.
No, there's a
No,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah. I also make them watch my act.
Oof. I like the ones who pretend they watched it. You know, come back and be like, great set. And you're like, come on. There's no way.
I love them all. One of them said just recently, I really like that bit. It has been in the act for 4 years. And they were like, I really like that. That's new? And I was like, you've been pretending to watch me for 3 years.
I love the compliments that people give that are so misplaced. Like I remember Dr. Ken, who I'm at a comedy festival in Vancouver or something. I'm doing or Toronto, and Dr. Ken's at the show before me. And he comes off stage. He's like, Anthony, you're the greatest comic of all time. I'm here with my friends. They're all like famous actors. He's like, we're gonna watch you. And I'm like, great, thanks, Ken. He sits right on the side of the stage, and his laugh, as you know, is so loud that like that's all I can hear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm happy. I'm doing my thing. 20 minutes into the set, they get up and they go to dinner.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, that's totally fine. You don't have to watch my act. It's great.
Yeah.
And then he comes back at the end and laughs for the last 5 minutes, and I come off stage. He goes, "That was amazing. So the whole thing, front to back, was incredible." I'm like, "How do you think that I missed your laugh? How do you think that I don't know when you left and when you came back?" It's hilarious. to me.
Yeah. I mean, comic to comic, that's totally fine. I was at Montreal Festival once, and Jim Brewer was on. You know, sometimes you have like back-to-back headline. You know, he does the 7 o'clock, I do the 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the early one. So I get there early. He's still on. And agents were courting him. And it's getting towards the end of his act. And these 2 agents come running in all sweaty, and they like catch the last 2 minutes of the thing, and they're trying to sign him, and he comes off stage, comes back, oh my God, the agents, what a set, that was amazing, what you did was amazing, from the beginning to end, you just had them. I'm just watching the lies come out of their mouths as he's soaking it up as a performer. Like, really? Sure. Maybe these guys are all right.
But I don't know about you. I don't believe anyone anymore. The compliments, I'm like, what would you say if it was the worst thing you'd ever seen? Everyone's like, great, amazing special. We love it. Like, it's not until they prove it to me. Like, Netflix was like, we love this. And I'm like, do you? Like, you have so many specials, like, I don't know what the fuck you love.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we wanted to do it Thanksgiving weekend. And I was like, okay, now I believe you.
Right.
If you want to put my fucking dead baby bullshit up against Thanksgiving, then I know you must believe in it. So, yeah, let's go.
All right, well, let me prove that I liked it.
Please.
It's such an amazing thing that you do. And I literally, since I watched it, I think you're the only one that does it. And I don't know how you do it. And I'd love to know where your brain is. You're one of the only people that, while you're in the act, will talk about the act and talk about the jokes from a distance and then not lose the spontaneity of being in it. Like, you will comment, I'm saying this more for our listeners and to clarify for you, but you will say, guys, this joke I came up with doing bum, and I'm going to explain it to you, like even your opener, like I don't want to give stuff away, but I'm going to explain this joke and I'm going to talk about it, and then you'll go into it, and it's like stand-up is a trick of making it seem like it's coming off the top of your head.
Yeah.
You have this ability to step back as a narrator of your own act and not lose the spontaneity of the act.
I thank you. I think Gaffigan does that a little bit. With the voices, with the commenting on the act as he's doing.
Yeah, a little bit.
When I do it, it raises the tension. When I'm talking about this joke, like there's one joke where I say, guys, I'm sorry, I hate to do this to you.
Yeah.
But this next joke is going to be too smart for the crowd.
Yeah.
And when I do it when I'm on the road, and nothing comes off in the special, on the road, I'll walk over to the side of the stage where like the sound people are, and I'm like, what? Okay. And then I look at my watch. And then I go, guys, you guys have been great. I hate to do this to you. And the whole crowd gets so silent because they're like, fuck, what's happening right now? And then I go into it. It's like, it's all just building tension and letting it go. So in that beginning part you're talking about, where I'm commenting on the joke you're about to hear, it's just like raising their expectations of like, what are we in for?
Yeah.
And then you cut the rug out from under them.
Right. And you do it several times throughout the special. It really is so great. It's really like, as someone that's been in comedy forever, it really is like, it's refreshing and fun because you don't see it done.
Thank you.
It really is, because like normally if you were to stop down and be like, guys, I wrote this joke about whatever at this time, the joke would lose a little something because you've taken them out of the, oh, this is all just coming off the top of my head.
Yeah, if you say you're joking, like this is the joke, when I like this joke, they're like, okay, we're expecting a joke, but for somehow my setups put them into a trance. Yeah. Where they believe me, like, your uncle. Oh, your uncle did. And like not knowing there's a joke coming. Like John Mulaney will say he watches the audience. Right. Because I reset them every time where they'll laugh and they'll be like, oh, okay. So your dad went. And they're like, oh, another one. Like, yeah, they're coming.
Yeah. The real brilliant stroke, though, in the writing is that it's all surprising. Like, comic to comic, it's so great to, like, you can tell when you watch your friends and you see a joke coming, you see it coming. You're like, it's going to be around this area. He's going to flip it to this. The punchline will be about that. You really are surprising. It really does. The misdirect is.
Thank you.
And that's the writing.
I mean, my goal is to get the comedians second guessing themselves. Right. If the comedians are like, fuck, I didn't see that coming, then you're good with the audience. Like, have we ever talked about third thought? Mm-mm. Like, first, if you're making a joke, first thought is what anyone will come up with. It's like, whatever. Second thought is, okay, I see what you did, but I would have gotten there. If I'm trying to guess your joke. And third thought is no one gets it. Right. No one would get that, and that's where I try to live. That's like the best joke you can tell. Yeah. And they're not all like that, but that's my goal. Yeah. That's my aim.
Yeah. And I never, is that your concept, third thought?
No, I did not come up with it. but I'm sure I learned it in, I don't know what joke writer or comedy teacher brought that out. But I was like Third Thought and The Second Smile,
right?
That Michael O'Donoghue would talk about, where you want them laughing and you want their throats cut.
Right.
At the same time. And I was like, perfect. I'm putting this down. This is great.
It's so good. My favorite joke, I think, which I couldn't do the math on before it showed up, was the baseball, thinking baseball.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was fun to do in Europe, where they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Where they were like, what? I don't know. We'll laugh at the end of this, but we don't know the baseball terms. But yeah, that was the last joke. That was the one joke that once I started the tour, I came up with and put it into the act. Everything else, I'd be like, this is for the next one. But that one I came up with and was like, this is a solid piece of work.
It really is. Yeah. It really, because you're like, no, don't do, and then you explain, no, what do you mean thinking?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I mean, with the specials now, I'm sure you've seen this. It really is like, people don't watch the whole special. Netflix will be like, you retained 80% of the audience for 40 minutes. You're like, well, like my last special, I had this 15-minute story about taking a friend to get an abortion.
Right.
And I was so proud of it.
Yeah.
And no one saw it because people don't watch the whole special.
Really?
So now it's like, what clips go out there? What clips get out there that then become viral, and then people will go back and see it.
They see
but it's just a
way.
weird. Comedy's changed so much in what success is and what it can be, and in a way, it's gotten easier. But it's just strange. You came up the way I did, where it was like you got on late night.
Yeah.
Comedy Central, premium blend if you could. A half hour would be great.
Yeah.
And then if you got a special, it was like a huge deal because no one had an hour special.
Yeah.
And now everyone does. Late night means nothing.
Zero.
And there is no Comedy Central. Like it really is just, it's podcasting and getting a special out there. And there's special that'll be put on YouTube. They'll be just as successful as something that's on HBO or Netflix because of the engagement and the clips.
Yeah. The clips are huge. Huge.
I'm lucky that I'm like designed for the clips. Like I started social media 2 years ago. My agent was like, "You need it now." I'd had Twitter and I hated it, but I was off Instagram, off TikTok. He's like, "You need it," so I hired a team. I was like, "I'm not doing anything.
Right.
I'm not going to make anything," because I see how that makes you crazy.
Yeah.
If you work all day in a video and edit it and then it doesn't get engagement, you're depressed, and I understand why.
Right.
But if they take a clip of something I did 10 years ago and put the joke up, but it doesn't do well, I don't care at all.
No,
like, it's
exactly.
fine.
And you don't have to post it or caption it, and
Exactly.
just somebody else just does it.
I don't even look at it. I don't, like, that one did well, that one didn't.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that a joke that I've slaved over, that I'm like, this is a brilliant joke, does not get the engagement of me telling Adam Ray that my least favorite sound is children playing.
Right.
Like that clip will get billions of views and all this engagement, and the jokes don't really do it. You have to just let that go.
You gotta let it go.
This is what
because some of
technology
it
does.
literally is like the time of day that they posted it, and what else was being posted. Like it literally, you can't. There's no figuring it out, so why try?
But I definitely feel more famous now than I ever have because of the clips.
Yeah.
Like in 2013, I had a TV show. I had my first special. There are billboards. The subway in New York is my picture everywhere. And I felt like, I don't know who you are, but I know you're famous. Like, can I get a picture? And that was weird to me. And now with the clips, it's flight attendants.
Right.
And they're like, I love your clips.
Yeah.
And it's not even my account. It's like other comedy accounts posting clips.
Right.
That it just comes up into your algorithm.
I know.
That it feels like, oh, I'm a clip star.
Yeah.
It's a weird place to find yourself. In your mid 40s.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all the same, really. It's just different ways of feeding it. You know?
But like my Comedy Central days, people don't even know they happened. It used to be like I was known for the roast. Yeah. And in the new special, I talk about roast stories. And I'm like, I roasted Donald Trump, Charlie Sheen, Roseanne. And they don't know what I'm talking about.
All the greats.
They don't know what I'm talking. They're like, when was this?
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix? No, it's like only the Netflix specials have meant anything.
Yeah.
That's just funny.
It is really funny. Do you like the process of this, of like when it's over, of going back to the Comedy Store and noodling around? And
I like writing the new stuff because it's like I get to start from scratch.
Yeah.
in the every special I build up like a mythology.
Yeah.
I kill off a grandparent. My mom's sick. In the next special, everyone's alive and well. No one's married. I can do whatever I want, and so I can really get into it. I've got like 50 jokes to try out.
Right.
But I'm gonna wait till the end of the year. And then just try to go up at like Largo and see what I really have.
Right.
And then start to whittle it down and come up with a new.
So how are you spending your time when you're not doing stand-up?
Right now, I've just been like resting.
Yeah.
Like I got back a couple weeks ago. I had to jump right into press.
Yeah.
I'm doing this big, like, long profile with New York Magazine where, like, they came and talked to me before I went to Europe. I had just gotten back from India with food poisoning.
Oh, no.
And I'm, like, dying.
What happened?
I went and did Australia, which is a kick in the dick of just getting off that flight and dealing with, like, a week of that jet lag.
Yeah.
But the shows were amazing.
Yeah.
Got to do Sydney Opera House.
Oh, wow.
And that was incredible. Like, an incredible experience.
Yeah, God.
Finally got to New Zealand. After like the controversy from like 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
The shark party thing.
What was the shark party thing?
I did on my first TV show, Jeselnik Offensive.
Right.
I wanted to do a thing about how we kill like 100 million sharks a year. And sharks kill 10 people. But we fear sharks. So I'm like, when someone dies from a shark attack, we're going to celebrate it. And then bring up all these facts. And a guy from New Zealand got eaten. And we like I have like a shark dancers come out. We do this big whole production. And then we showed the guy's picture at the end. And I was like, smile, you son of a bitch, shark party. And New Zealand went crazy. Like, they don't know who I am. So it was like the clip went out international, and they're like, what the fuck is this? This guy just died. You're doing this? And so it was like a big deal for years. And then I finally went and performed. And I thought, like, do I need security? And they're like, no. It was like 3 assholes who got mad. Like, we're happy you're here. Thanks for coming.
Did you feel it at the time? Did it feel like a thing? Did you feel under attack?
It felt like a thing where in America, no one knew about it. No one cared. But my boss's bosses at Comedy Central were very upset. Viacom International is getting phone calls about this from New Zealand. They're like, what the fuck? Who did what?
Yeah.
That it was like, no one knows I'm in trouble, but my bosses are mad.
Right.
Which it's like, if you get in a fight with one of your friends and you can go complain to one of your other friends, you can get it off your chest.
Right.
But if you get in a fight with one of your friends and you don't have any other friends in common, you're on your own.
Right.
Get a therapist.
Yeah. I was supposed to do New Zealand, right? That was the last gig that was canceled before the pandemic. And I'd never been there before. I was so excited to finally go. I've never been to Australia. I was so excited to go. And it was like the clock was just ticking. Like, I think I'm still going. I think I'm still going. I'm not going.
Australia was great. New Zealand was great. I did Taipei, Hong Kong, and Tokyo.
Oof.
And they could not have cared less about American comedy. Like, the show was fun. But it was like you're doing thousands of people every night, and then it's like 400 people who are kind of just being polite.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, okay, I don't know if I'll do this again.
Yeah.
And then India was crazy.
So what happened with the food poisoning?
Everyone's very careful with me. Like, it's like the promoter is like, I'm going to be with you at every meal to make sure you do not get sick.
Okay.
You got to be very careful here. And then like the last day, they're like, do whatever you want. But I'm like, I still have these flights. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
And I ate, I believe it was like the one thing I ate on my own was just like a sandwich I got at room service, like the day of the last show. Like
room service?
And it was a nice hotel.
Yeah.
It was like a lamb sandwich or something.
Oh, no.
And I just didn't feel right. And then the flight back.
Oh, no.
It's like a 5-hour flight. And we finished the last show. We got 2 hours.
Yeah.
They make us eat with them again, Thai food. And it was great. And then go to the airport at like 4 a.m, fly to Dubai, and then Dubai to America. And I am throwing up the whole flight.
Oh.
And I got like the really nice seat, like the extra night. Yes,
Yeah.
I got the booth. And it's like
on Emirates?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
heaven.
the flight attendant being like, hey, we can't offer you any anti-nausea medicine because we don't have enough time left on the flight, but I just want to say I'm a big fan. And I'm like trying to hold down toast. I'm like, this is pure hell.
Oh,
pure hell.
Just throwing up the whole way.
And he couldn't hold down water. I'm like, I know I'm dehydrated. I got home and got an IV. And then for like 2 weeks, I was just like out of it. Out of it.
After all, that was like your last international stop?
then I had a month to recover, and then I went to Europe. And Europe was easier
Right.
because it was like every other day was a show.
Right.
Whereas in Asia, it was like a week
Yeah.
to do this one show, and you're like, it's typhoon season in Taipei. I'm just sitting in a hotel,
Yeah.
like waiting for this show. That I don't think they needed me over there.
Oh, it's brutal. I baked you this bread, by the way.
You did? You baked it?
Yeah, this morning.
Because the last time you gave me a loaf, you had bought, and it was delicious.
Yeah. This will probably be better.
I believe it. Is it sourdough?
Yeah.
Because my new thing, and it's not even my new thing, is beans and toast.
Oh, it's good.
I go to the farmer's market, I get a couple dozen eggs, I get a loaf of sourdough, and I get like the beans, like the special breakfast beans.
Yeah.
People don't know about it. It's in tomato sauce. It's just Heinz.
Yeah, the Heinz.
And you put that on some toast, and it's so fucking good.
So good.
That's been how I've been like trying to put my weight back on. That I will definitely cut this up and eat it with.
That makes me very happy.
Eat it with the bread.
Yeah, we got to fatten you up a little. Yeah, you were thin. Not unattractively, but I noticed just as your friend, you were thinner.
It was like I was losing weight, and I felt good because I was dealing with back issues the whole tour. Where sitting up like this was pure hell.
It's the worst position to be. That's the killer of travel.
Yeah. And so I would get off the plane, and I would have to lay down on my hotel bed like the whole day.
Yeah.
And then do the show. When I was on stage, great.
Yeah.
But sitting down was miserable for the first like 3/4 of the tour.
Oy.
And I started to feel the weight coming off, and I felt a little better, and then all of a sudden,
lighter.
we're like a week before the special, and people are like, "Are you sick?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I lost that much weight? Like, I didn't know it got that bad."
Yeah.
But on camera,
Yeah,
it
you
looks
still
great.
look fat.
Yeah.
Here's a trick for travel, which my sister told me, and it seems to work for my body at least. When you are done traveling, you're sitting like this the whole time. Lie down on the floor, the hard floor, for 15 minutes. Not the bed, because you're still in some give. Just lay on the flat floor, and it kind of will adjust your back.
I'll try that.
Yeah,
I'll try that.
it's not too bad.
I've had every kind of chiropractor, every kind of Pilates instructor, and like you don't realize, when you get like a good one, you're like, oh, I've been with a fucking idiot for the past year who's like has been like hurting me, and this woman knows what she's doing, or this chiropractor butchered me. Did the thing where he like pulls the leg.
Oh God.
And it hurt, and then it like never. It was like my hip was out of joint.
Forever.
Like it sucked so bad.
You ever read the Dr. Sarno book?
Everyone talks about it. I just talked to someone who just read it and was like, "This actually really helped me," and I believe in it. But it was just like I grind my teeth at night, and that's what leads to everything. It's like I bite down as hard as I can, and then it just goes down through everything else.
It's also the same source as what Sarno's saying. It's all your anger and rage.
But I'm worried if I don't have my anger in my jaw, like where's it coming out? Because I'm a pretty chill guy.
Well, the cool thing about it is that you don't have to solve it. You just have to recognize it. It's basically that your brain, if your brain doesn't want to deal with other problems, so it's like, but I can deal with my jaw being, I can focus on that.
Yeah.
And once your brain just recognizes, oh, I can't lift my arm because I have tension, and it's decreasing the blood flow, and that's creating the problem. Just recognizing it.
What I like about that book is that it's caused so many fights.
I know.
Because someone like, my back is really hurting. It's all in your head.
I know.
Read this book. It's all in your head. You're dumb.
I know.
And everyone was like, no, I'm in pain. You're like, no.
I was in such
fine.
pain. I was at the Comedy Cellar. I could not lift my carry-on over it was that bad. And Greg Rogel at the Comedy Cellar tells me, have you read the Sarno book? I'm like, no, I never heard of it. It was 8 years ago or something. And he's like, I'm telling you, it's in it really helps. It's in your brain. And Noam, the owner of the Comedy Cellar, that's horseshit. There's nothing to, you're just thinking about it. Well, if you're in an accident, there's a pain. Rogel fights back. You don't know what you're talking about, you son of a bitch. The biggest fight I'd ever seen at the Comedy Cellar over this book. The two, Noam saying you're full of shit. Rogel saying stop belittling me and saying I don't know what I'm talking about, and they almost came to blows.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I can see this, and I can see it going either way. Like either one pushing the book, and the other one telling the other it's an idiot. Like either way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it helped me, and maybe it is psychological, but I keep it in my bag, because it's this thin. I just keep it in my bag, and it's almost like a talisman. It's like seeing that I won't have back trouble.
I'll have to read that book. Read that book.
It's just a little pamphlet. You just kind of like flip through it, and over time it might have something. We do a thing on this program called an uncomfortable moment.
Sure.
I know you don't mind uncomfortable moments. You talk a lot in your special about not liking children, and you talk about it a lot to the point where we really think that it's true. And but our Cracker Jack staff went out and dug up a couple photos. This first one, it seems like this is you working at a summer camp. Do you do this in the off season?
I don't know who photoshopped that, but
what do you mean?
They put in 2 extra kids.
What?
Yeah, that is me at a summer camp for kids about to get molested.
Oh wow! They don't even know it's coming.
I mean, there are pictures of me with children on the internet that you could find, with like nieces and nephews and godchildren. But you went that route.
And what about this route? I guess is this community theater? I guess when you're off from stand up and you're quote unquote working on jokes, is this you and Annie?
Is that Annie? Yeah, that's me in the movie Annie. With the original cast of the movie, and I'm just walking through the scene.
I guess.
Yeah. Again, great job, guys. Stellar. The scale there is better.
So, do you really want children of your own?
I do not. I'm very happy. I've made it to a point in my life where I'm just thrilled I made it. Because there's always that like, oh, hey, here's a surprise.
Yeah.
Let's see, we can deal with it. And now it's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. I couldn't imagine what would have to come into my life that I'd be like, oh yeah, let's do this. And I love my nieces and nephews. I love my godchildren. I'm interested in their lives. But the lack of fear that I have, that I assume all parents must have.
Oh God,
it's not something that I feel like I'm missing out on or that I worry about. Like, I get it. I get wanting to have a kid, and I get being obsessed with your kid and wanting all of that. Yeah. But I don't, it's not something that keeps me up at night.
The fear would keep you up at night. And my daughters are older. They're 19 and 22. And I was talking with my daughter yesterday on the phone. She's in New York. And we had a conversation. Then I called her back. She was on her way home, she said. And I hear, she picks up, she goes, hello? And I hear in the background subway chatter, and I hear a guy go, who's that pretty? And doop, the phone goes off. Who's that pretty? Boop. And I do the Find My Friends, and I can't, she hasn't moved. Like the phone hasn't left the station. And for 2 hours, I'm just like not telling my wife how worried I am. And, her phone died and she went to the movies.
Yeah, always. Always. But yeah, and that's like a rational fear. Yeah. But even just waking up in the morning, like, where are they? What are they doing? Like, where did they sleep last night? Like, that fear, I think, never goes away, and I do not envy people who have that. Yeah.
You still have your dog?
Still have my dog.
Nice.
And the dog is like, that's how I know I don't want kids, because the dog is the dog's almost 5 years old. And he's one of those dogs that lives to like 18, 19 years old that I'm like, oh, like, I can't really travel until this dog dies. There's no way I'm giving him up. I have a full-time assistant I got for the road so that they can watch the dog while I'm gone.
Oh, nice.
Because he can't go to a kennel. He can barely go to a vet. He's one of those where he's just like terrified.
Because he's too smart?
I think it's smart, and I think that there's the vet has told me that those dogs that come from Korea that get rescued and then shipped over here are always very nervous and scared. And I get it. Being put in a crate and put underneath a jet on the way from Korea to LA has got to be has got to fuck you up. But he's a special guy. Yeah. So I've got a lot to deal with. Like, if someone wants to come to my place, come over to my condo, I have to get the dog. The assistant has to take the dog and get them out, because he's too protective.
Oh, really?
So I've got I amassed all this art during the pandemic where I got really into art, and no one has seen it. Like, no one has seen any of it.
Can't come to your house.
Yeah. And then I had the reporter from the New York Magazine came over. I had the dog get out. And she's looking at the art and she's like, why do you have this? Why do you have this? All this art's like fucked up. Like, it's like a picture of like a baby that looks like it's falling down the stairs. I'm like, well, that's just funny. It looks a funny picture. It's like, well, this one's like a fire escape collapsing. And I'm like, this was a Pulitzer Prize winning photograph. It's like, yeah, but they're about to die. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still beautiful. And like, this one's a woman breastfeeding and she's smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, it's like an anti-domesticity. And she's like writing up all this down. And I'm like, some of these were gifts. I have other rooms in the house that have like water towers and shit. Like, it's not all this like horrifying art, but I do like that stuff. I do enjoy
a clown with a tear coming down.
I don't know if you're an art guy. I went in and I like started getting like I'm working with the Deitch Gallery. I'd bought a couple pieces. And so now they get in touch with me and they're like, you've got to see this new artist, you've got to see this guy. And I'll check things out. I just like to look at art.
Yeah.
And I'm in there and like, oh, this is a 24-year-old. He's up and coming. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's interesting. What? And I'm like, what's this? And like, oh, this was a picture of a Jewish costume party where this photo was used to try to show that the Jews were in the occult during World War II. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what's this? And like, that was eugenics where they were measuring the heads of Jewish children and Aryan children too. And I'm like, tell me more about this artist. And like, he's 24. He's really like, and I'm like,
what?
I think you're showing me anti-Semitic art.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that he's trying to say something about this. Like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Because at first glance, you're like, oh, that's cool. It looks weird and gothic. And it's like, oh, no. This guy is saying something that you don't want to hear.
Ew, that is creepy.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
Because you hear those famous authors where you're like, oh, they were famously anti-Semitic. And it's like, okay, I can still read War and Peace. I don't know who like if Tolstoy was or whoever, but when it's real art like that, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get behind some weirdo.
Gunter Grass, that German writer?
I know the name.
Wrote The Rat and a couple other things. And then it came out at the end of his life that he might have been in the Nazi Party. And he was like, big award-winning writer. And movies, like if you hear like someone's in trouble, like I'll watch Woody Allen. I don't, I couldn't read any more of his books. I couldn't. It's because I think a book is so immersive.
Yeah.
You're so in there. It was like Nazi. Wait, you can't stop thinking about it every time you're finish a sentence.
No. Yeah, I read Woody Allen's autobiography, his like latest book.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah. Like I'm Team Woody. I'm in there, and then that documentary came out with the daughter in it, and I was like, ugh. Yeah. I'm just gonna not talk about this anymore.
Yeah, I know. That one. Yeah. Well, they went to lie detectors and he did this. It's like that Ian Edwards joke. You know that Ian Edwards joke about Michael Jackson.
So good. It's so good. The best compliment I can give someone is I wish I had thought of that joke.
Yeah.
I've told him that to his face.
Yeah. It's so good. I will never watch that documentary.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the Woody doc.
No.
Does your taste in movies and stuff skew darker?
Yes, if I can find it. It's just harder to find now the way the movie business is, that everything is, if not a Marvel movie, then designed for that broad audience. But there was a movie that came out this year. Have you heard of The Coffee Table?
No.
The Coffee Table is a Spanish dark horror comedy movie. Where I'm going to spoil this for you.
Okay.
Because
I'll forget.
Because as a parent, you will never want to watch it.
Okay.
But mom and dad come home. They have a brand new baby. Mom goes out. They're about to entertain company. Mom goes out. The husband has an accident. Drops the baby. Baby dies.
Oh.
He just puts the baby back in the crib. He's in shock. And then people come over for the party and they're like, where's the baby? Where's the baby? He's like, wait, let's let the baby sleep. And so the comedy comes from people just being like all joyous and not knowing what's happening. But for an hour and a half, it is insanely tense. That was like my movie of the year. That was like my absolute favorite. But most things are like, I like The Substance.
Yeah.
I liked Maxine this year.
Right. What about older films?
Older films, it depends on how old,
Like
but
Turner
older,
Classic kind of old, 40s old.
I can watch them and enjoy them for what they are, but
Yeah.
I don't know how really dark they get, especially when they had back then they had like the code that they had to go by and everything. You couldn't really show a lot of stuff. It's more like Fate, you know, gets me. But one of the best movies of the year wasn't dark at all, which was what was the Japanese film? Wim Wenders directed it.
Anybody?
Yeah, let me look it up. I know what you're talking about.
Exuma?
No.
Perfect Day?
Perfect Day. Yeah, Perfect Day is like you'll just be watching this movie and then you will just cry your eyes out at the end. Like
Really?
it is a beautiful movie, not sad,
Right.
but just about life.
Wow.
That was incredible. So I like movies that kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But I can't take the newest movie of the week. It's just now it's made for a global audience.
I know.
And so you have to take off all the edges, even in the dialogue. The dialogue is simplified, and I can't show me like I'd rather see an interesting failure. I'd rather watch Megalopolis,
Right.
which I probably will not do,
I know.
than watch some of these movies that are.
I saw
out
him
now.
on Colbert talking about it. It was intriguing.
In what way?
Just that he was trying to do something. That he was just trying to do something beyond what he had built his career on.
And like, and listen, that's great. Okay, like, I applaud you for doing that.
Yeah.
But you could also make it good.
Yeah.
You know, and I heard if it was like, hey, this is good, but it's not you, it's like, okay, that's fine. But I hear it is terrible.
Really?
People who like want to go in and see, like, did you ever see Beau is Afraid?
No.
It's insane. It's a fucking insane. It's like a 3-hour panic attack.
Oh,
3.5 hours. I saw it in IMAX, and I loved every second of it because it was just batshit that it was in theaters at all, much less in IMAX. That I was like walked out being like, I can't recommend this to anyone, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Megalopolis is going to be the same
No.
kind of thing.
And no, there's literally not one person saying a nice thing.
No, not one.
I know.
Not one.
It's brutal. You talk in this special about cancel culture. Mm-hmm. And what's so nice is that, like all of your jokes, they're so great because of the economy of words. And it was so nice to see that subject, which has been talked about ad nauseum,
Ad nauseum.
in just 2 lines, sum up exactly. It was perfect.
I mean, talking about cancel culture has become so hack.
Yeah.
And people who have no fear of cancel culture are complaining about it. That I think it sickens me. And I think people want comedy to be dangerous. I want comedy to be dangerous. And if you can't get in trouble, it's not dangerous.
Right.
So complaining about cancel culture is just saying you want to take all of the danger out of it and you want it to be easy for you.
Right.
Then I think as soon as I say it, people cheer.
Yeah.
And this journalist was like, why do you think people are cheering?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they believe you that you're about to talk about cancel culture? Do you think they like are sick of cancel culture?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no. They're way more savvy than that. They've seen the first 40 minutes of the special.
Mm-hmm.
They know I'm not suddenly turning into Ricky Gervais.
Right.
Like they get that I'm about to subvert this in some way.
Yeah.
But I hate people complaining about cancel culture. I hate comics complaining in general. It's the second comedy boom. It's not going anywhere. People are making more money than ever before. And Dave Chappelle, who's won every award in the world, is complaining that cancel culture is making his job harder. It's like your job shouldn't be easy.
Right.
If you're gonna make that much fucking money, like, hey, maybe it should be a little hard. You know, I got no issue with that.
I love that line. You're a comedian. Do your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Really. And then you have the great line about just shitty comics trying to get on Rogan by saying that you're fighting this cause. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the cause?
It's become like I think it's kind of groupthink, and I'm surprised that I'm attacked by saying cancel culture is not a thing. Mm-hmm. That people that just not parroting what every other comic is saying would somehow be seen as treasonous and not as an individual. Like I have my own thoughts.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
and I would be way more successful. And I'd have way more money if I did complain about cancel culture. Mm-hmm. If I went the other way that a lot of these guys go. And I think it's stupid, and I'm happy to fight about it.
Yeah.
I think it's good for comedy when two comics are at odds or talking shit on each other. I think it's good for the art form.
Yeah,
but now
moves
everyone's
it.
got to be friends.
Right.
You've got to worry about what Joe thinks about these things.
Yeah.
And have Joe mediate fights. And I like Joe, but I don't get the whole like stand-up comedy. I got into it because you get to do it by yourself.
Right.
You go on stage alone.
Yeah, with your audience.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
these let's get a group together. I never understood it.
I know, I'm the same way. I have a real hard time with it. I don't want to be a part of a club.
No.
And what's so ironic is that if you're not in step with every aspect of what they're talking about, then they kick you out. Well, how anti-comedy is that?
Yeah.
You know what I
you're
mean?
pussy because you don't think the way we all think. And it's
Right.
like, how is that?
Yes,
Shouldn't I be
exactly.
celebrated for thinking differently? Isn't
Exactly.
that the point of comedy?
Yeah.
Is to think differently from everyone else?
Yeah, isn't that why we're all friends in the first place? Because we think differently.
Yeah. It's strange. It's strange, but it'll change.
Yeah, it was cool also to see the audience response to it. Mm-hmm. I was thinking in the first mention when you just say cancel culture or let's talk about cancel culture. I forget how you said it, and there is a little applause. I guess this is what the
I
journalist.
say I'm against cancel culture.
I'm against cancel culture.
Yeah.
And there is an applause. And I was trying to interpret I watched it twice because that part, just to see.
It's them playing
the
along.
temper was.
We maybe even sweetened it because people know what I'm doing, but you'll get in some places I had to yell it 3 times.
Yeah.
To get the cheer and then be like, all right. And occasionally you get it right away. Where
Right.
they're like, oh, great. And then
Yeah.
they feel stupid.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was a segment of the audience that was just used to cheering against cancel culture.
I think it's because I yell it. I talk so in the same tone that if I yell something, it gets your attention. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to clap here.
Right.
This is important that I clap for this.
Right.
Yeah, but I can't believe that they think I'm really about to start complaining about you can't say anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because everyone who's saying that is saying it into a microphone for millions of people.
I know.
Which is wild. When comics talk about freedom of speech, you're censoring us by saying that we shouldn't joke about everyone has freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Everyone in the country. No one buys a ticket to hear how free your speech is.
Right.
They want to hear you laugh and do an act, but
Make us laugh.
I never got that.
Yeah. It was I mean, there are real world consequences for things that you say. You can, I had a show canceled off of one joke, and but that was because my joke was in my act, and this was a corporate run entity that was a news organization, and they had a problem with this one joke, and they stripped the whole project. And so there is a canceling that happened there.
Sure.
But it's totally my choice of whether or not I talk about these things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't have everything.
Right.
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 I'll get it. Anthony's a liberal because he wants to work in Hollywood. I don't work in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been in a movie. I've never been in a TV show.
Yeah.
No one will ever use me to advertise any product. That's just all my jokes are about dead babies. There's no way I'm making any extra money. This is just what I do.
Yeah.
These are the thoughts that I have. That the idea that I'm trying to somehow insinuate myself with Hollywood is hilarious to me because they're not high. They can't.
They can't.
When I was shopping the special around, I remember I had a meeting with one streaming service that was like, "We're getting into it. We're doing this," and I was like, "Great, you should start with me." I said Netflix didn't start with Chappelle; they started with Bill Burr. Get my specials got newsworthy stuff. Clips are going to go viral. Use me. People are going to talk about it, and you got something. And they're like, "Great, and they went and saw it that weekend, and they go, "We can't." We just can't.
We can't open.
We can't even bid on it. We can't do it. We can't do anything. And I was like, thanks for telling me. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
If you had gone down the road.
Yeah.
And then said, actually, we got to lose this one thing. Then I'm furious. But if you just say, hey, we can't, then great.
Yeah.
I was doing when I was going through Asia. I was going to do a show in Singapore, and right a week before, they're like, actually, the government came back with your transcript, and here's what you can't say. And it was just highlighted, and it was a lot.
Well, yeah.
For me, it was a lot. Where I'm like, I can't work around this.
Yeah.
We have to cancel the show. But the idea of going into Singapore punk rock would be wild to me. Like to be like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go and see what happens. Like I'm not doing that to those people.
No.
Yeah.
I did Dubai once, and in Dubai they have a safe zone in like the town square, and like within this zone there's more freedom to say what you want to say. And even that was highly restrictive. Like, you know, outside of it, a couple had gotten arrested, boyfriend, girlfriend, for holding hands on the street, like as we were landing, you know? And so like their freedom was not anywhere. It was just like, I want to go home. I'd like to go home. So I don't have to, they don't need to hear my take on nipples.
I was going to do Dubai once. I was on tour with Chris Rock. This is 2018, something like that, 17. Mm-hmm. And we got Dubai on the schedule. And then like, we're worried about Dubai. My agent tells me, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
And like, we're worried you're going to get in trouble and get arrested. And I was like, well, tell me what I can't say. I'm only doing 12 minutes opening for him. Like, I can adjust. And then like, we don't know. That like everyone in Dubai is breaking the law at all times, and just like who gets reported on, who do they decide?
That's right.
You can flick off a cab driver and spend 20 years in jail. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I'm like, well, what is Chris going to do? And they go, Chris Rock can do whatever he wants. You can't. And I go, you never should have told me that. Because now I feel like I have to go do this. And then Chris canceled Dubai.
Oh, he did?
And I was like, thank God. Yeah. Like, I don't need to, I don't want to be like, I want to be welcomed wherever I am.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want it to be like, he's like I leave. I don't want people to get in trouble for being at my show.
Right.
You know, it's not that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a funny thing that because you're so defined as being talking about dead babies or whatever that people expect what they expect. They know what they're getting, you know, except for the streamer on that day one.
Yeah.
So you kind of like can live in that, and everyone has that expectation. Like, because my comedy is so family oriented, and I talk about family and stuff, I almost have more to lose by pushing a little bit, because my audience is like, why are you talking about that?
Oh yeah, you have to.
You know what I mean?
And I follow your career and your act, and when you get edgy, it's a different kind of edgy. But I know it's like, it's just as edgy as what I'm doing, only you do it in a palatable way. Like your joke about dropping your last daughter off at college, and how difficult it is to pretend you're sad.
Right.
That is a dark joke. The audience goes nuts because they're like, yes, we get rid of our kids, but it's like your version of it. You know, no one's getting hurt in that joke, but it is like it's not nice.
Right.
You know, it's not like a nice thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever do a thing where, because Gaffigan has talked about this a long time ago, where he said, Gaffigan was like, I love dark jokes, you know, but I also like telling jokes about bacon. And you can't do both.
Right.
You know, so I had to choose, do I go light or do I go dark?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I chose dark. I can't joke about bacon.
Right.
You know, ever.
Yeah.
I can have some kind of silly jokes, but nothing really dark. Did you ever have that where you were like, because you obviously like dark jokes, but did you ever think like, by going this so family oriented, I have to leave that behind? Or do you try to kind of bring them together?
Yeah, no, I knew that family, like when I was first starting and to be at the Cellar following Attell and Nick DiPaolo, and I was like, oh, I've got to be dark. You know, this is the beginning of my career, and I don't live that way. I'm not that. So to pretend that I was, the audience was like, we just met you, but we're not buying this.
We don't get it.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I just decided not to watch anybody and just talk about what I wanted to talk about. And that's when it all started to click, when I no longer, at that period, I wouldn't watch Attell before he went on. I wouldn't watch anybody. I just stay in my bubble with blinders on and just talk the way I want to talk.
Now, is there any comic you watch now? Like, and not just before your set, but like, is there anyone that you watch their special, but you're like, are you just trying to stay out of it and do your own thing? Because that's fascinating to me at this point.
Now I can watch people.
Okay.
Now I can watch, because I'm 30 years in. I know what I like. It's not going to alter or change anything.
Like, I like to watch specials because it makes me think like, oh, here's how I would do this. Like the first 15 minutes of my new special is a trans bit that is a direct response to Dave Chappelle. Like
Right.
a direct. You know, there's certain things that are like, I saw a comic do this. That means I'm doing this.
Right. Right.
But I don't. While I'm on tour, I don't really watch things. I'm afraid I'm going to see a joke.
Yeah.
It's too much like mine. I don't want to deal with it. But I'll watch a lot now.
Right.
But I want to stay away from the scene of it all. Like things, especially in the podcast arena, will make me mad. And it's like, why do I even know about this?
Yeah.
Why do I even? I don't have to know.
I know.
I want to just get away from what the rest of and just show up at the store, show up at Largo, show up at the Improv, and just do my set.
Yeah. And then
And
get
watch
in the car.
specials, but then just get out of there
I
and
know.
not worry about what everyone else is doing. Because I think I'd be happier. that
You'd be
way.
happier, and I think your work is better. I think you're more unique if you don't. Like I love comedy, you know, my radio show, I'm dealing with comics all the time, and so I'll check out what they're doing and stuff. But yeah, there's that, you really kind of have to live on your own. You have to be on your own to create something that's unique and original.
I mean, things will make me mad in comedy that I've gotten over. I've almost like taken my time where it's like the new crowd work thing. Where everyone's doing crowd work and they're filming everything and they're putting it up right away. I'm like, I've stopped doing crowd work altogether. I used to take questions at the end of my set and now I don't because I'm
Right.
like, I hate this so much. And then I realized I'm old. Like I'm old and the new generation has to do this.
Yeah.
So just leave it alone.
Yeah,
You know, it's not
their
so much the
thing.
older guys doing it. It's like, this is what they have to do to get viral and to get the attention. Whereas before it's like, just get in with Comedy Central.
Right.
You know, just keep doing their showcases
Right.
and you'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Where now it's this, where I'm like, okay, let me let that go
Yeah.
and not be mad about it. But
Yeah.
it takes a while.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know really successful comics who will call me and bitch about the trends at times. And these are very successful people, and it always surprises me they're even paying attention. Mm-hmm. But you know, if you're in the NFL, you're going to watch what other people are doing. You know, like you got to keep an eye on it to some degree, I guess.
I think there's just so much money in it that you can't avoid it. And there's some things that I think are very strange. And so I'm happy to be called a hater. But there's someone who gets like just out of nowhere gets super famous. Okay. And all these comics, friends of ours, are like, want to have them on the podcast, sit down and be like, you've always been such a hard worker. It's so great to see. And it's like, how about you give that person the same energy you gave them before they got famous? They haven't changed at all other than now they have a huge following. You didn't think they were anything before. And now all of a sudden you're just like amazing what you're doing. You're so great at it. And it's like, that to me is weird.
Yeah.
But that's just the money that's involved. Is you kind of have to absorb that and make it part of your
Right.
brand.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I do feel like I should, just for curiosity's sake, look at people who are younger. There are definitely, like, there is a stratus of young comics who I have no idea who they are.
No, it's so hard to find an opener when I'm going on tour
I
again because
know.
I'm like, who is?
I know.
At first,
And I think it's being out of the loop of that. Like, not.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
in a good way. It's like you're at the store. I don't want to hang out with like the 20-year-olds. Like I can't get involved in your drama.
Yeah.
So on this tour, when I go to clubs, I'm like, I'm gonna let the clubs pick. I'm gonna go by myself.
Yeah.
Just show up, and the club's gonna pick. And I said, I want a female opener and a female MC.
Right.
They go, great. And the first club they took me to, San Jose Improv, the two girls hated each other. Like had some beef. And I didn't know this going in, but I can tell there's a tension in the green room. I'm like, whatever. MC goes up, does great. Middle act goes up and bombs. Where I'm like, fuck. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna pay them both the same, but you gotta flip them.
Yeah.
Like have the girl one MC, and that
God.
caused a meltdown.
Oh no.
Where then I had to fire the girl who had gotten demoted, and it was like a huge thing in the scene where it was like rumors of like sexual favors to do. And I'm like, oh my god. Now I'm not just bringing an MC, a feature act. I'm bringing an MC, so I don't have to deal with their bullshit anymore. That it's terrifying having to find
It's
the
hard.
new young kids. And now, have you heard of clowning?
No.
Clowning is the new fucking thing. Where like stand-up comedy is hack now.
Oh god.
Jokes are hack. You got to do clowning, where you go up and you just like tell people the worst thing that's ever happened to you for 10 minutes. It sounds so bad, It sounds so bad. And places like the Elysian Theater, it's like that's what they want to do. That's like all the new kids coming up
Right.
want to do clowns.
Wow.
And they're like, you'll get a half-hour show at Edinburgh one year.
Right.
But it's all about like, there's no jokes. It's just your deepest, darkest shit. And I can't believe it's a thing.
Yeah, I know. And my knee-jerk reaction is, well, that's not comedy, but maybe it is for them. That's all right. Let them do it.
The argument of what is and what isn't comedy isn't the net comedy. Is it this? Are you standing on stage with a microphone?
Right.
It's comedy.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you're not laughing. Maybe it's not good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you need to gatekeep what is and isn't stand up.
Yeah, exactly. That's just you trying to make yourself feel okay.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm doing still relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We do another thing on this program.
Is it as good as the Photoshop thing? Who's in charge, by the way, of you two? Who did the Photoshop?
Neither of them.
Yeah,
It's-
unfortunately,
It's an outside source.
I would believe that you did it yourself.
I didn't. My daughter in Brooklyn,
Okay.
who I thought got attacked on the train, she did it.
What is she studying in New York?
Photoshop. This is called a taste test. I spent a lot of time baking this for you, and I got home from the store last night, and then this morning I put it in. But we also tried garbage together that we find at 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And today we would like to try, I don't know if you have these at home. This is a Bugle, Tabasco flavored Bugle.
Look, I'm a fan of the Bugle.
Mm-hmm.
And in Europe, somewhere along the line, there were chocolate-covered Bugles. They weren't called chocolate-covered Bugles. It was something else. But I was like, you know what? It doesn't have enough Bugle. It's all covered in chocolate, so you're just eating chocolate with a little crunch. That I'm looking forward to a Tabasco Bugles. This is not a bad.
All right, good. I'm glad you're
not a bad
excited
thing.
about it. I love, being on the road and stopping in weird places. Ooh, weird smell.
Yes, you get the Tabasco smell.
Right now I'm getting all Bugle.
Yeah, you get like a spicy aftertaste,
Oh.
but it's just Bugle.
At the
Yeah.
end. Oh, at the end. It's growing at the end. That's hot.
I prefer just the regular Bugle. This makes me want to have regular Bugles, a little Tabasco thing, and just a little dip.
Yeah. It's too chemically of the Tabasco. Mm-hmm. They're just messing with the heat, but it doesn't have that little flavor. But yet, I've eaten 4 in a row. Not bad.
Yeah, tell your daughter, good job on these.
My daughter had nothing to do with that part.
Okay. What school is she going to?
She went to Vassar,
Oh, nice.
and now she's an adult in New York, finding her way. You know Dave Hill?
Yeah.
The comedian Dave Hill? I'm directing his off-Broadway show, and she's helping with that.
Oh, cool.
She's getting into it, building her tribe,
Cool.
finding her friends. Who are your friends, your early friends?
My friends, early friends, kind of out here, because I was either New York or LA, but I thought LA I can live with no money better than New York. New York
Right.
was scary.
Yeah.
So I came here.
I'm sweating, by the way, from the Bugle.
It's okay. Sweat it out, man.
Thanks.
Loses calories. My friends were like open micers who now no longer do it. If I
Right.
see them,
Yeah.
it's like an awkward thing of like, you made it, like we didn't. Most of them were
Yeah.
gone. And then I moved to New York for like 2 or 3 years to write on Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends were kind of like the people who were coming up at my level. A lot of people from Chicago,
Right.
like Kumail Nanjiani,
Right.
T.J. Miller, John Mulaney,
Right.
Pete Holmes, guys like that. And they all moved to L.A. around the same time I did. And now, like, I never see any of those people.
No.
They've either like been canceled and are gone back in New York, or they're movie stars,
Right.
And they're always going off and doing some crazy
Yeah.
thing. You don't get to see your friends unless you're at a comedy festival.
Yeah.
And even now, most of my friends don't do stand up the way that I do. Like for doing a 2-year tour is like this is my life.
Yeah.
I don't have other side projects. It's like
Right.
this is the thing that I have to do, make as much money as I can, because then it's 3 years before I can work again.
Right. Yeah.
And my other friends are doing TV stuff and producing and writing and all kinds of like different things.
Do
but-
they come to you at all with TV things? Do people ever like, or just like,
No.
like I could see you being like a role in like a cool film or
Sure.
Like that kind of stuff.
I would be happy to if someone was like, "Hey, we want you for this part." I'm happy to show up and I can do a good job.
Yeah.
Auditioning is not my thing.
No.
The last audition I ever went on
Yeah.
was for New Girl for Schmidt, and the guy goes, and they're like, "This is going to be a big show. It's going to be a big hit show. They want you for this one part. Come check it out." And everyone's reading for Schmidt,
Right.
you know. And the guy they got is great, but they go, "Anthony, that was great. Can you do it faster? This is a sitcom. I know your timing, but if you can do it faster." And I go, "No." Like, I know what makes me funny. I know the funniest way I can say this.
Right.
If you want it done differently, get someone different.
Yeah.
Have you ever been auditioning for something and you're imagining the person who should get the job?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's when you know
Everyone.
you're not getting it. Like, that's
Everyone.
when you know it's not happening. Like, unless I'm like, this is for me, and that's like the director's going to be
Yeah.
like, "Anthony, I want you for this," then I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to like chase it down. Even like
Right.
seeing Mark Maron's success now.
I was just gonna say, Mark.
He was like, "I'm gonna do this."
Yeah.
And you could see the early ones where it's not as good. And then all of a sudden it clicks for him, like around the time of Glow.
Yeah.
And now he's just like an actor. Where you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're putting in great performances."
Yeah.
And if I could get there, sure, but I don't want to do
Yeah.
I don't want to take the class.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I'm not doing the exercises.
Yeah. No, but it seems like because you're such a distinct voice, it could easily be.
I thought I would do voice work, you know, and no one's ever come to me for that.
Yeah.
Hosting is still a thing that kind of comes up here and there. I hosted like a pilot for Comedy Central where they were like, "We need to make something, you know, would you do this pilot?" Where I'm kind of like the judge. It's like a roast games thing and I'm just the judge.
Right.
This is very easy.
Yeah.
And even then I was like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like, is it worth sitting up here, this cheesy thing? Like, it felt weird that I think even those days are over.
Yeah.
Just of like taking something for the paycheck.
I know.
When you just would rather not do it.
Yeah, I know. Those are really, they're difficult, especially now that comedians have so much freedom. It's like you don't have to do a game show. Like, you used to have to do that to survive.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, you can kind of just build your own little company and go do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's almost dumb to have a TV show.
Yeah, I
It's like
know.
You're losing, you know, viewership. to
Yeah,
get your own
I
people.
know. These comics that like, would end up like with a big show on network TV, not playing themselves, and their comedy career just disappears.
Or it's a thing now where I've heard of this. I don't know who. Like, it was like a big time actor gets an offer from Netflix, be the star of the show, 10 episode first season, but he's like, "I can't take it because they're not paying me enough. There's no residuals,
Right.
And it's 10 episodes, and then I can't work for a year.
Yeah.
And I've got to wait. And if they pick it up, then I can't work on anything else.
Yeah.
And it used to be 25 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's 10. That doesn't seem like an industry that I'm even trying to
No,
break into.
I know.
I've had friends who have written a movie and then taken 10 years to get financing. And then the studio comes in and changes the casting.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. And it's like, you spent 10 years of your life on this.
I know.
And it got ruined by the most random thing. Like, why would I give up the control I have as a
Yeah.
stand-up comedian?
I do like the idea of getting an idea for a film and doing it in 6 months. You know what I mean?
If
Like-
you could do that, great.
Yeah.
You do it all yourself, Tyler Perry? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping you would do it and put me in it.
You're at that level now. The level of like, I hope my friends put me in something.
I'm offer only with my
Okay.
friends.
Okay. I see. I see how. Were you in Unfrosted?
No.
No. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I gotta get out of that one.
That was like when I was upset that they were following Orny Adams around for Comedian for the documentary. At the time, I was like, I should be the guy they follow, shouldn't they? And then when it came out, I was like, oh, thank God.
Jerry Seinfeld wrote me a very nice Instagram DM. I had said, because when I say 20 years of stand-up comedy, it's 22 now. I go by the day that the movie Comedian came out in theaters.
Oh, wow.
Because it was playing in a theater near where I was living in LA, and I walked to see it at noon on opening day, and I was like, got it. I'd done a couple open mics and was terrified.
Right.
I was like, this is what you just go up and fail, and you keep doing it. And
Right.
you go up and fail and keep doing it. And I put out a thing being like 22 years ago today, and it was the poster of Comedian. I saw this movie in theaters, and I left the theater a comedian.
Wow.
And he wrote to be like, thank you for talking with the movie. I really appreciate it. Like, always been a fan. I was
Wow,
like,
that's great.
Yeah.
That is
didn't
really
expect
cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, people really, comics have a real fondness for that, and especially at a certain age, like they really hit them at just the right moment. When you're
It's
just finding it.
When a young comic comes and says, "What advice do you have?" I just say, "Watch the movie Comedian." It's the
Right.
best thing you can tell someone of just keep going and failing. Like
Yeah.
that, if Seinfeld can do it, then you can do it too. Like
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah. So great. Well, the special's amazing.
Thank you.
Really so good. It's very rare when you put it on and there's just been a couple recently, like over the last year, where the hour goes like that. It's just like that.
That's
And
what I'm
that,
hoping
that was
for.
one of them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and again, it lives for so long. It lives forever. The clips go up, but I'm hoping that people see it and are just as excited about it as the audience was.
Yeah.
In the theater.
And there's a maturity to it. There's like, you've done it, you stuck to your style for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't waver and try and do and it's so, you got to watch this thing that you're doing mature. And you're at the top of your game, which is a good thing after 20 years, like, to still be improving.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, and I like that you're building on the whole body of work now.
Yeah,
it's like being a stand-up has been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a different level of respect, a different level of attention that I'm like, oh, I've earned this.
Yeah.
That I just want to keep going. I was thinking about retiring. Like, maybe 5 hours is enough, and then just like being on stage at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Being on stage at Sydney Opera House. I was just like, oh my God, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to cash in on the respect I've earned and go out and keep doing these sort of things. So I'm getting to work on the next hour. And I'm going to keep enjoying it. Try to get this character at 50 is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
What will that be like?
Yeah.
That
It's only
I'm
going to
looking
get
forward
better.
it. Yeah.
And whenever you feel like, I always feel like whenever you feel like retire or stop or change or shift, you just need a couple days off. You're tired. You're just tired. And after you take a break and you kind of come back.
And it's easy to get tired.
Yeah. Last question before we go, and thank you again. I hope you enjoy the bread.
I'm taking the bread.
When you saw the clip of me and my special, did you think too skinny?
I thought skinny. I thought Tom was working out for the special. Like, he knew when the date was, and he was doing a little extra time on the treadmill to get ready for that. But you look good.
All right, good.
You look good.
But not too skinny.
Not too skinny.
All right, thank God.
I called my special Bones and All, and I was worried. Like, in the edit, I'm like, do we have to change the name? But it was like, I look fine. It's like, you look fine.
I know, you look great. Thank you, Anthony. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Appreciate it. Congrats
We
to you.
got it, Joe.